First thing this morning, I talked with Joe Wainscott and made sure we had all our processes for becoming as prepared as one can be for the weather problems that may be coming. And during the day, Becky has taken the lead in making certain that all of our state departments are in readiness. There have been conference calls with utilities, conference calls with all 92 local emergency preparedness directors. And now we await events. But I'm going to ask Becky to give you a quick briefing on the steps that we have taken. And let me just say that the reason we're viewing this with extreme seriousness is the consistent predictions of a lot of ice. May sound odd, but I think we'd rather have a couple feet of snow than a lot of ice with the damage it can do to utility lines, to cell towers, to basic services. And so that's why we're especially concerned this time, hoping we catch a break, but planning for the worst. Becky, would you bring us to current?
Sure. Well, of course, we work year-round to prepare, but our specific efforts for this storm event started very early this morning, as the governor mentioned. Department of Homeland Security contacted the Indiana National Guard. I talked with General Umbarger at noon today as well. So Hoosiers should know that the National Guard is on alert. They are ready to go. Some troops will be pre-positioned, and again, they are ready if necessary. The governor mentioned as well that this morning, Department of Homeland Security conducted a conference call with emergency management personnel throughout the state. Their operations are underway as well. One of their first actions typically is to work with the Red Cross to designate those local shelters, and that's what they're working on now. Our EOC, the State's Emergency Operations Center, will be fully staffed, not only by Department of Homeland Security, but every agency that has some role in keeping Hoosiers safe and secure will be staffing the EOC. NDOT, of course, IURC because of utility issues, State Police, DNR, National Guard. They will be there 24/7 as long as it takes. They will be coordinating and they will be communicating all of our efforts. We do have a FEMA representative that is already on hand here at the EOC. NDOT, all of the trucks are ready to go. That includes having debris removal equipment ready in the case of a ice storm event. If indeed southern Indiana has a rain event only, then the NDOT trucks at the Seymour and the Vincennes districts will be ready to move north and to assist central Indiana and northern Indiana. The IURC has been on a conference call this afternoon with all of the utilities. The utilities are in storm mode of operations. They're ready to go. Some of them have already called in additional crews. I suppose we would want Hoosiers to know that public safety officials will be as prepared as they can possibly be, but there are some things that Hoosiers can do to prepare themselves and to prepare their families. You know, we know that power outages are common during an ice event, and so they should well in advance check out their local shelter, the location of their local shelter. We hope they don't experience a prolonged outage, but we don't know about these things. They need to gather in advance many of the supplies commonly known, what to do there. If your utilities are disrupted, food, water, flashlights, batteries, blankets, of course. With a power outage, the most important reminder is to have a plan in place to stay warm. And our Joint Information Center will be operating as of tomorrow morning as well, and be working with all of you and with public information officers throughout state government.
Thanks, Becky.
What exactly would be the role of the National Guard if necessary? What would they be called in for?
Could be rescue, could be backup debris removal, and they have heavy equipment and so forth. But
They've performed a wide range of functions in the past. They're here to serve in any way that we need them.
What is the Joint Information Center, and where is that located, and when will that start operating?
Joint Information Center in the conference center, and we'll be ready to go tomorrow morning.
We'll put something out
Over
for
the
you.
government
They'll
center south?
notify everyone of the contact information.
Is FEMA here in anticipation of a possible aid request, or do they have another purpose of being here?
Just present due to the realization that the storm event and the ice event could hit central Indiana.
Are the utilities calling for help from outside, or is the swath from this so wide that there really is no way to do that?
Well, we know only that they have additional crews on hand, and they're in this mode of moving forward. I think they've learned from some past events in the state that it's good to be prepared up front.
I'm sure they're in the same mode that Becky described with NDOT. The consistent prediction is for rain south of somewhere, Bloomington or somewhere, and so that the crews from down there, I'm sure, would find their way north too and help their brethren if that's the way the weather fell.
How does the State House operate in terms of if there's a power outage? Are there generators for the State House and for the emergency center, or how does that work?
Well, we rush an emergency generator to the press section immediately, of course. First things first.
That's not what we wanted to hear.
Oh.
Well, we always have a continuity of operations and a continuity of government plan in place at all times.
So does the State House have backup power?
Yeah, not for the entire structure, but good question. The answer is yes,
Essential.
in several places.
Are you still, is everybody still supposed to come to work as normal tomorrow? Are you monitoring?
Yeah, state government will be on duty, and if it gets to the point where some people can't get to work, that's a different question between supervisors and workers, but we will be open for business. We're told, again, consistently that we'll may have some issues starting tonight and tomorrow, but that it's tomorrow and Wednesday to expect the worst. And I'm also told that we might get the worst of all situations, which is a lot of ice followed by a lot of wind. That would be apparently a Wednesday, Thursday problem if the forecasts are accurate.
So you're ruling out closing state government as of now?
Right.
Governor, have you talked to the state police, and do you have concerns that they're going to be stretched because they're also trying to provide coverage for IMDD district tomorrow during the officer funeral?
They have not expressed such a concern to us, and they've been in the circle communicating with the team.
Again, Russ, I'm just reflecting what I've been told, but we think the worst risks probably start late tomorrow and then continue for the next day or two. So.
There have been times when the state has sent employees home early to avoid getting, things being worse at rush hour when there's an ice or snowstorm. Is that something you would consider?
Yeah, maybe. I'll listen to the folks with line responsibilities and do what they recommend makes most sense.